Are we on?
You wanna? It probably started with you saying, "Are we on?" And
Are we on? Hello, hello.
Fucking hell.
YouTube.
Honestly,
it came up with
everyone's
another
like,
message saying,
control,
"Do you
isn't
want to go live?" I'm like, "Well, I just
Kind of
Okay,
Mickey
wait,
Mouse outfit.
Bloody hell. It's not exactly bloody launch control, is it? 3, 2, blah. Oh, shit. Oh, I'll start again. Oh, fucking hell.
I didn't actually check with Carlos. You have seen this movie, right?
Yes.
Oh,
How did you
God.
see
Yeah, I was
it?
gonna say I'm not just gonna be guessing.
Whose login did you use?
Hey, yours, obviously.
I may have.
Oh, you don't meant to announce that you're doing that live on
Bloody hell.
password sharing.
KK. Oh, man, you're rinsing my account now, aren't you?
What do you mean rinsing your account?
I would
Look, I
never.
gave him permission to use one of the profiles to watch. I can't remember what it was. One series. Now he's like, oh, this is my account now, isn't it? Tell you what, why don't you change the name of the profile to fucking
No, what you should do,
the destroyer or something?
you should be
eh?
kind and set him up a new profile on your account. That's what I did.
Do I look like a charity to you?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't
Come on,
look
man,
a
you start
charity
a
at
new
all.
job, man. You got a pay rise. You're doing electrical cars.
To be
Poor
fair,
Carlos is only
be
on
fair,
43 grand a
Carlos
year.
did offer to pay.
Let's take his money then. What's he doing?
Oh,
£15 a month.
£50 a month, then done. Do it.
Oh,
Go on,
how was it? So hang on. Let's work out if I can do it for one day. What? What
One movie,
Oh,
Quick
God.
chunk, one step.
$14.99 per movie pay per view.
All right. Anyway, and
Couple of quid.
for the
We haven't seen each other for weeks, so we've got to do some catching up, haven't we?
It's very good to see
yeah,
you
but
guys.
that's the purpose of starting it half an hour before the actual broadcast.
Oh, I see. Sorry, we forgot about our audience.
It's not your fault. It's not. You don't need to say sorry. It's Carlos that needs to say
I
sorry.
was waiting for this. Don't have to talk about the behind the scenes. It's fine.
Carlos trotters.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil the magic.
So today on the podcast, we're talking about the Predator prequel, Prey. Maybe that was a spoiler. The prequel to Prey. I've got the trailer, so I think we should watch the trailer first.
Do it.
If I click shares.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it
What are you waiting
now.
for? What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Start the trailer.
Get to the trailer.
Clicking share. Why isn't it sharing?
There you got it.
It's come up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
There's no audio. Can anyone else hear audio? I can't hear it. No. What a Mickey Mouse outfit. I think only TJ can hear the audio.
And there's the first hint.
There you go.
Right, we didn't get any audio.
What, didn't you?
No,
we presume-
do you not hear me say we can't hear anything?
Yeah, I don't think you could hear us.
Oh, no,
don't
I didn't hear you say that at all.
I don't think you could hear anything we were saying.
Yeah, we were mentioning it, but not to worry, not to worry.
I didn't change anything, so how come you couldn't hear anything?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, that gives for a pretty bad viewing experience for our viewers. Just watching us, watching something that we can't even hear.
It does mean you can focus on, I suppose, the visual. Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised actually. Well, obviously, sorry, I should have said. Obviously, we'll be talking about plot points, details of the film, so there will be spoilers. But
Yeah,
there's
it's
actually a lot of spoilers in this trailer, which I
After
didn't
just
realize.
watching that trailer, there's two things that comes to my mind. Is the very first thing that they said is like the female empowerment story, which obviously it was in the film, but I don't think they should have put it in the trailer. It does make you cringe a little bit. Like, oh, not one of these again. But and the other thing is, I think they gave away the bear scene. I think the bear scene.
Yeah, which is actually a really
They
good.
shouldn't have done
Like
that.
I said, and that one I remembered. Like sometimes trailers do it very quick, so the idea is you don't remember those little moments.
Mm.
That bit is so long in the trailer, I specifically knew what was coming because I remembered that.
Yeah, exactly
it-
what's going to happen.
It's
Yeah.
striking. Whereas some of the other bits, yeah, I'm surprised how much in the trailer is actually in there that are quite kind of key, interesting moments in the film. But I hadn't seen the trailer for quite a long time.
So
think
this will be
it's
quite
cool.
interesting. So before having watched the trailer, I'm assuming you watched the trailer beforehand and you went into the film. What were you expecting?
I think.
So you're big Predator fans, right? Well, San
Yeah,
Diego College.
the thing is, my expectations were extremely low, and
Yeah.
we'll come on to my review of the movie because let's be clear, you've either got one excellent movie, a couple of guilty pleasures, and a load of dog shit. So
You mean of the franchise?
of the entire franchise, yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of a Predator movie, it just had to not be dog shit to be up there, right?
I think you've got one excellent film. You've
Yep.
got one really good film.
Mm.
One which is like, yeah, all right, and then three really bad movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think even Predator 2, it's not a great movie,
It's not
but for
masterpiece,
me,
but it's still really good. I really enjoy it.
no, I thoroughly enjoy it. I put it down as a guilty pleasure, but it's not going to be.
I don't think it's guilty. I think it's better than Need.
Well, I'm giving my opinion. It's not your opinion, is it? So, yeah. So my expectations weren't high. That's what I was going in with.
Yeah, my expectations weren't high because I thought that they would fuck it up with all the what's it called
PC
persecuted female
Mm.
being outlawed from the tribe. Nobody believes her. She gets beaten up. Nobody trusts her. But all the guys are dickheads and they don't trust her. But in the film, she managed to beat everybody and kill this 12-foot predator. Which that's why I thought, oh, you know what, it's probably going to be pretty shit. Not because of all the other stuff, but because of that. Based on the trailers and stuff, I thought this is what they're going to do. So, yeah, Carlos, what were you expecting?
I don't know whether I saw just one of the teaser trailers rather than like that main one. I don't think I ever saw that one that we just watched.
There was a teaser, yeah.
So I think I only saw the teaser, so I didn't really have many expectations on it at all. I didn't know, in my back of my mind, I didn't know how they'd have Predator in an era that has this type of weapons. I was like, isn't that going to be a bit sort of an unfair fight? And I honestly didn't therefore know that the focus was on her and this kind of side of the story. I didn't so I just was expecting it to be maybe I was thinking, maybe I was
Native
yeah,
Indian.
or thinking it was going to be more closer to maybe what the others were like. So I don't really. But again, like you say, I wasn't because of what's followed the first. My expectations weren't particularly high because, as you say, although a lot of them, there's stuff you can enjoy, although there's a couple of awful ones. Yeah, so bad. But there's usually some stuff you can enjoy, and like the general premise and the fact that we all like the sci-fi, I kind of was still thinking I'm sure there'd be stuff that I would have wanted to, but it wasn't something I was clamoring to see.
And the other thing that got me thinking this film is going to be dog shit is there was no theatrical release. Do you know what I mean?
That does always make you go.
if they're doing this high concept, very popular franchise movie, and they put it straight to streaming,
And they
or
don't want to get the
direct to
same
video, I
one.
guess is what they used to say.
Yeah.
Then it makes you think, yeah, this film ain't going to be great. Which I think, all right, to maybe transition a little bit. On the whole, I was quite pleasantly surprised. I actually thought the locations were really good. I thought it wasn't as in your face female empowerment as I thought they were going to do. So some of the characters were okay. The Predator itself was badass. I liked the actions. I actually thought it was overall much better than I thought. I would rate it as a good film. Those are my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Go on, KK.
Yeah. Okay. So same here. To be honest, I thought overall I actually enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty good. As you say, the I still quite liked her character arc that we had. I thought they did, some of the, I suppose, trying to portray the emotion on screen. I felt they did well. So although that's not something you necessarily would associate with a Predator film, they did do some of those transitions, some of that sort of empathy or elements of the story that we're trying to get very well. So I thought good cinematography. As you said, I thought there were some flaws with some of the shaky cam during the battles. Some stuff you couldn't really tell what was quite happening. But overall, how they went down, how they linked a couple of nods to the original, how they kind of tried to tie it in. Although a couple of bits I think were a bit clunky. There are definitely flaws to it.
I personally think
which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of bits where I thought you'd have an idea. You probably could have written it better. but as you say, the bits that they did well, I think they did very well. I was, as you say, I didn't necessarily expect to think it was good, and came out going, "Oh,
it
was
would have
good."
been better if they left it completely original. We didn't need to hear the dude say, "If it bleeds."
Yeah, I was going to say
Like,
a
nah,
couple of little
man.
nods. You didn't like that. You
No,
thought
not
Yeah.
at all.
That kind of came out of nowhere. The
It
thing is,
did.
in the original, it made sense because all the blood was on the leaves. Like, it kind of makes sense, but it's pretty minor, to be honest.
Yeah, and the gun thing again, I don't think that was necessary. I don't know
Correct.
why they did that.
Yeah, they even had do it.
That was just like a cheeky wink and a nod to the fans of the franchise. Like, hey, you remember that gun? Here it is. I'm like, yeah, but why? And a lot of people have pointed out that actually what this now means is that the Predators subsequently came and killed everybody. They had to have done, right?
Well, it's actually in the end credits. You see,
I
you've got
saw that a ship's turn up. Yeah,
the ships come back. So
No
there you
way!
go.
I didn't watch the end. Is that after the credits?
It's not end credits. It's like a short
It's not
animation.
end credits thing, no. It's the they do this like wall painting sort of animation thing, and the last frame of the animation is the ships coming back.
Yeah, so it's implied then that the Predators came and murdered a lot of them and took the gun.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a sad end, really. You would have thought that that's
Oh.
not how it would have ended. But poor Naru, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then, Slanky. Let's hear
Yeah, I mean, I think framing it from what I said originally, my expectations were very low. It only needed to be a reasonable movie for it to be, the right at the top. But I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it an awful lot, and I think I want to watch it again. I think, however, in retrospect, because now I'm judging it on its own merit as opposed to against some of the Shane Black crap.
Against Alien vs
I
Predator
can
2.
pick
Requiem.
Yeah, it's like Requiem and The Predator and all that dreadful dross. I'm no longer judging against that. I'm judging it as a movie to stand by itself. I can pick a lot of holes in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Things like you mentioned, the character arc wasn't really a character arc. She was like, it was a coming of age story.
Yeah,
It was a fair. It wasn't an arc. It was a straight line.
Yes.
all
Yeah,
right,
yeah, I'll give you that.
For me, I quite like that it was just straightforward.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
know, I
she's a girl in a tribe of hunters. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to. Her dad was a war chief. She didn't want to be a fucking stay-at-home thing. She wanted to get out there. She got out there. She found a predator. The predator killed everybody, and she managed to use her wits to outsmart it a little bit in the end.
I love
That's kind of it.
So
Dead
yeah,
simple.
you're absolutely right. When I say you're right, it's not. I suppose what I meant that I really liked about it is that it tied in what was happening to her at the time, and this idea of having to have something and see it through to the end was then tied into what she had to do with the Predator directly in the story, I suppose. So I liked. It's not you're right. It's not really an arc. It's just a tying in of what she was going through at the time being linked to this, and like
Well,
I said, her using her strengths to overcome it, which I really liked how they had that resolution and that method that she used, rather than
And
just
the
brute
thing
strength.
that I'm surprised you didn't mention, which I think was another really good plus point in this film, one of the best characters was the dog. The dog was awesome.
Well,
Oh,
you
you're
say
a
that
dog
in my
person. I know.
notes. I was going to say I wrote down the dog cannot die. This is back to that classic thing where
Yeah.
we were like, uh-oh, several times. You're like,
The dog was
uh-oh.
awesome. He was
No,
a great
dog-
little character, and
dog does
he
not-
acted like
can't-
he acted the part, and he's a fucking dog.
Don't kill the
I
dog.
said, yes,
Cannot kill
it's
the dog.
awesome. I actually googled it afterwards. I'm like, yeah, I want to get one of these dogs. It's an American dingo, is the breed.
Is it? I was going to say I did not know.
Yeah,
I don't know the breed just from looking at it. But yeah, I'm not
They
familiar
look
with
really,
that.
look really cool. Look like loads of fun.
Clearly
go.
seems to be good for training.
The
Very
dog
well
was good.
trainable.
Yeah, awesome.
What I liked about the movie is actually on a pretty small scale. There are only, I know there's some extended characters, but they're not really part of the story. You know, all the French people and the rest of the tribe. There's only like a couple of key characters.
There's
brother
her and
sister,
a brother. That's it. Really.
and that's it. And the
come
predator and a dog, and that's it. So
The rest
it's
of the
actually a
tribe
pretty
just serve the
small
purpose
scale
of dying. The French
Yeah.
dudes serve the purpose of
of
dying.
dying. They're cannon fodder. Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically it. So you're right. It would have been better if we had more character fleshing out, because there wasn't a lot of dialogue in the film.
No.
We could have had a bit
No.
more of the tribe talking, the hunters talking,
Yeah.
the hunters having different personalities and stuff. They didn't really get any of that.
No,
But what we
that-
did get instead, which I
Oh.
think was pretty cool, is the predator doing all sorts of cool hunting shit. He took
Well,
on-
let's be clear. This was about the predator and the action sequences.
Yeah.
The dialogue was basic. There was nothing. All right, it was all right. I think in terms of acting, she does a reasonable job. The person who played her brother was good.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
I think he was. He showed his acting chops.
He's
pretty
not an
well.
actor. Did you know that?
I did not
he's-
know that. Huh?
Straight off the street.
Wow, you did full Carl
Yeah.
Urban.
First acting job. He's like, yeah.
Wow, he was good. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So he basically what he was doing, he was playing himself in that sense.
Yes. Yeah.
That's probably him in real life. He is a hunter for a tribe in
Just
America, I
a
guess.
cool dude. Yeah.
Well, I
Yep,
guess
he
that's
was
why it
pretty
came across authentic. No, it was. Yeah, I thought
Exactly. Yeah.
some of it, as you say, is very much focused on it. Just those two, the main characters. You know, Predator, her, and then the and the surrounding emotions around it. What happens? It's like you say, it's because it's following us so much. I guess we don't have that dialogue. She goes away from them quite early.
Yeah. And the other thing that I thought was really good is this predator felt like a different predator.
Yes, definitely.
This predator felt like he was a bit more rough and gruff, tough, no nonsense, hands on.
when he beats down the bear.
Yeah. He one punched a bear to death.
I thought
You
you'd
do
love that.
realize he punched the bear
He
in the
didn't use
head
his weapon.
and killed it.
So I don't know if again we're
badass,
jumping
isn't it?
around a bit. I wanted to bring this up about like because one thing I'd grumble a bit because I get that okay. So what he said is I will use the weapons of the people I am facing. However, when he starts like
No,
losing,
he
it
won't
straight
give
away just
himself-
escalates to something much better than what they
I don't
have.
think
And
he
I
did
was
though.
like, he
I
used
think
the bomb,
Well, oh
You know,
yeah, okay.
bombs.
Yeah, the bomb was pretty big.
and then against her.
But in
like,
general, he didn't use his plasma caster.
No,
this is
he
my
I
didn't
point.
don't
Like,
think he had one. He didn't have one.
this is my
No,
point
but
of,
you
like,
don't know why he didn't have why
Yeah,
he didn't use one. But he
I-
didn't. In the film, he didn't. He shot little metallic.
He used arrows because they used arrows. He
arrows,
used
yeah.
like I liked that. Then they saw, you know, granted this is why I'm like escalating slightly. The wolf has teeth or the bear has claws. He used his like, you know, claw thingamay. Although he didn't against the bear, he just
Punched the shit out of it. Yeah.
punched it. You want a bear hug? I'll give you a bear hug. I was like, whoa, this guy doesn't mind going.
No, I think
hands
that the predator fought with is quite moderated. They think. I think they always think about what they're doing. in terms of who they're attacking and whether it's fair or not. They've
This is
always
my
done
point
that,
of
I
like,
think.
now I get why it worked in this time period, because I was like, how are they going to do this? That was a good way of doing it, but he did still cheat a little bit, I think, because he
There's
was
no
like,
chance, because then otherwise they
Wait-
just go from orbit and nuke everybody, then would they? I mean, where's the fun in that?
but then he still used like friggin', laser guided arrows, which is, to be fair,
Yeah, that
still
was
a bit-
that's kind of
bit of
cheating.
a
Isn't it?
cheat.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Nuclear tipped arrows or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
But
because
most
it
of
was
the
in
time,
Predator 2 when he's got a spear.
most of the time,
He should have
it's-
used his spear more often. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
what I
probably
mean.
what they
He
should have done.
matched what they had, which I thought was actually really well written. I thought, okay, this is actually pretty good. They've gone. This is the weaponry these people have. Then when they used the muskets and things, he started using something a bit, you know what I mean? Or
He pulled out his shield. He had a shield, and then he had the net weapon which he threw down.
yeah, the net again. That's a little bit cheeky. It's like, you have a net, I have a net that will slice you like Swiss cheese. Escalate.
Yeah, just a little bit better than you.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're allowed to use nets now. that was
Yeah,
that was a well done scene actually. When you see all the stuff drop, it was. with the
it's
wood
great.
shaming.
I thought the gore level for a fucking Disney
It
film.
was I would. That's
pretty
again
good.
when I knew it was on
Excellent.
Disney. Like you said about expectation, when I knew it was on Disney, I'm like, well, let's see what actually happens. So the fact that a couple of people do actually, the fact that a brother gets killed, and then a couple of the ways people get finished off, I was like, that's not what I expected.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I actually think that they made a mistake. They put it on streaming because they think that people aren't going to take to it. But I reckon they would have got a lot of positive word of mouth from this. And
Or
if
subscribers,
I'd- I would have gone to the cinema to see it because fuck it, it's a Predator movie. And
You
I
do
would
something
have
that's
told you guys to go and watch it. I would have told a lot of other people, yeah, it's worth watching. Looks good, beautiful movie. I think I missed out not seeing it in the cinema
Mm.
Yeah,
from the
Again, there's a-
experience because of how nice it was shot.
yeah. I was going to say the
locations and stuff.
cinematography. The it's hard to sort of say this, but to get the sense and the tone, I wrote down actually. I'd forgotten this, but I'd actually written down that I quite like the score, like the music that they used.
Mm. To be honest, I was going to rewatch it because I couldn't remember the
Yeah.
score and the
Yeah.
sound.
So the funny thing is, I can't remember now, but I'd made a couple of notes, just a couple of minor notes, and that is one of the things I wrote. So I'm guessing I clearly must have thought, oh, but like I said, the way they used landscape to feel her, I guess, isolation and I don't know, like you say, just nicely done, nicely done, which you don't always get.
Yeah, well, what I liked about it in that sense is that it felt like a completely different type of movie. 'Cause we never, I don't watch films like this. I mean, whenever you watch films about jungle people, tribal people, whatever, running around doing shit. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Didn't feel like an
Yeah,
action
they
pick.
don't
It wasn't
do
an
it.
army pick or a war movie or a fucking Marvel comic book movie. It just felt completely different. I thought that by itself, I thought was really cool.
And I think there were some cliches surrounding that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, being Native American, they've got herbs that do magic that we don't know about. So the little orange.
What
leaves.
magic?
Yeah, so the magic leaves. You take a few leaves and it cryogenically cools your body, so predator can't see you.
That's just herbal magic.
Yeah, exactly, magic. You are.
It's not magic. It's not magic.
Yeah, it's a cliche, isn't it? It's like, oh, yeah, of course they've got herbs that do like, little amazing things. There was a few bits and pieces. You go, come on, really?
I didn't mind that. I let that one go. That's fine.
You didn't mind the fact that you can eat these leaves.
Carlos is thinking. He's
Cryogenically.
thinking, come over to my place. I'll give you some good shit as well. That's what Carlos is.
Fucking hell.
You want to
I'll
drop the
bust
temperature?
that
It's hot
right
weather. It's hot outside. I'll give you some
You
herbs.
could take a spoonful of crack cocaine, right? He wouldn't do that shit to you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't Google to see if this was actually a thing that did
A
something,
real
but-
thing. Oh, it takes
Carlos
literally
is like, I would have fancied with this shit.
30 seconds. Your
Hot,
body is 0 Kelvin.
Yeah, you will not show up on his. And I'll...
You don't show up on infrared. That's dead.
I'm
So I'm like, come on.
That's what Gary Busey somebody should have told him in Predator 2, bro. What do you need? You need some of these herbs, man. Get slicing.
They won't be able to see you. Sneak around.
So,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
did
personally,
think
I don't think there are many problems. Like I said, I think the two like female empowerment moments were a bit too on the nose for my liking. I think they could have. They
Which
didn't need to put
ones?
that in.
I don't
Is it the
remember.
guy? Is it that
Like
guy?
the
who's
one in the
like,
trailer,
yeah,
right
and
at the
then
start of the
lion?
trailer, where she said, I want to do this because you tell me I can't.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, whatever, right? And the other one, when the boys finally catch up with her and they start taking the piss out of her. There's
I
that
thought you
bit.
meant like him criticizing it before when they're in the tree, and obviously right at the very end.
No,
when
that
she
bit
gets
was
back-
good when she got beaten up by the lion. I was quite surprised that they did that. I was like, yeah, you know what? She got whooped.
To be honest, I don't think they ever say you can't do it because you're a girl. I think they say you can't do it because you're not ready.
That's what her
I'm
brother
pretty
says.
sure
The
some
other-
of some of
Yeah,
the
the other
guys
bloke
were like
was-
teasing her.
They were
Really?
like, whereas her brother
When
was
they-
always like, "You're just not ready." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the first
that could-
time is when she catches up with them and says, "I want to join the hunt." Then
Yeah.
some of them, yeah, you're right. They were like, "Nah, this is not a place
Yeah.
for you, whatever." But then later, when the hunters track her down and they tie her up, they lay into her quite a bit. It's quite. I
Yeah,
thought it was funny actually. I
She's
felt
being a
bad.
bit of a douche about it, wasn't she? She like ran away and they had to track her down, and then they all got killed. So come on, you're being a bit of a dick. Come on. She had this being a bonnet, but I've got to kill the big giant demon bear thingy, whatever the fuck she called it. So,
To be fair, she was right.
she was right, yeah. But then they all had to go and try to rescue her, and most of them got killed. So, you know,
I suppose she didn't want him to follow.
You're right. Actually,
It's true though. That is
Predator shouldn't have used his invisibility cloak.
Yeah,
That-
see, this is what I mean by there's
to
a
be
few
fair, he
things that
shouldn't
he
have
did
used
that were
invisibility.
like you're kind of getting an advantage.
That's like
there.
a crazy advantage.
That's
well,
my
yeah,
point
the
of,
bit
like,
when her brother's actually beating the predator, he's
Yeah.
actually beating it. So he just goes camo.
that was the point I made about like when
Mhm.
he's losing, he'll
Yeah,
suddenly go, you know what, I'm going to use one of my little
yeah,
get out of
yeah.
jail free cards. Or
Yeah.
like when he thought she was going to beat him, like, well, fine, I'll just use my laser targeted weaponry on you. But yeah, that was the one I thought of as well, where he's literally about to win, and then it was like, oh, I'm just going to blip.
Yeah.
For me, it would have been a little bit better if she suffered like a mortal wound and died at the same time, and that would have been like a better way to.
No,
end it.
he couldn't do it. No, you see, okay, right. So
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it, but what
Yeah.
they should have
they
done
wouldn't
is
do
she
it.
had stabbed her some shit. She
Wait,
gets
wait.
back, she drops the head, and then she collapses.
No, it wouldn't have happened. No, because remember, you got to think about the character line or the character arc. In the first movie, Dutch starts out as a complete hard ass, badass, big muscly bastard. By the end of it, he's like lying in a chop, all fucked up, and he was
Yeah.
sad about his dead friends and all the rest of it.
The idea is
She's
he
the
wasn't
complete
ready for
opposite.
it.
She starts out as some kind of just some bullshit kid, thinks can rule the world. By the end of it, she's chopped the head of a predator. Her brother's dead. She doesn't give a shit. Still laughing her head off. It's like, oh yeah. So all right. Yeah, it's a very simple coming of age story. Nothing else was going to happen. She has to go from down there to up there, and that's it. There's nothing in between. That's it. Her brother's
That's
dead.
what I mean.
Still,
But
still happy.
in my
Still happy.
opinion, it would have been a good. She definitely should have got wounded. The predator didn't really get a lick on her,
No.
and she should have. It would have been a better ending if something serious happened to her. Maybe she lost an arm or something. I don't fucking know. But
Well, the predator lost an arm. How the fuck did that happen? It's like, what? Did he just slip and chop his own
No.
arm off?
No. She used the weapon.
No. He had the shield. She poked the spear at the shield, which pushed the shield into his own arm and chopped it off. It was something really stupid like that. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was something stupid like that. A
No,
lot
I
of
thought
people
it
have.
was-
A lot of
thought she
people have said
acted-
that it's quite stupid.
No,
I
she
thought
didn't- she
activ-
didn't
She
use the
caused things to
weapon.
activate, and then it like.
No. Nope.
Sure.
He kind of
I thought-
slipped. He
I didn't-
sneezed and chopped his arm off.
I did. I have to rewatch what happened. I thought she
Yeah.
did something that she'd seen it do that, so then
Yeah.
she caused it to do it again when he didn't expect it to happen. Is what I thought had happened in the film.
No,
But I did. I tell you what, I did like his little that cuts legs off. Yeah, that like I don't know. What
Oh,
it was.
that wraps around or something.
Yeah. I really liked that. That like, and they was taking. I was like, that is something horrific. And she found it and like straightened it. I thought she used it against him. Is that not what she used against him to do the arm? Remember, she found it on the guy who'd lost the leg.
Yeah.
She straightened it and to put it away. I thought that's what she used to cut his arm off. But you might be right. It might have been the shield. I thought she used
I
that
need to go
thing.
back and watch it.
I
again.
thought
I
it
think
was
she.
shield.
I thought she used his weapon
Mhm.
against him to cut his arm off. But again,
After
this
he-
is this was my slight criticism that I thought after watching things like John Wick, I thought a few of the action scenes it was difficult to tell. So when she was fighting, was it a bunch of the French guys?
I like the scene where she attacked the French village.
There was
That
one where I
perfectly
yeah,
fine.
there was one where I jumped from somewhere behind it. I couldn't tell what was happening because it was shaking so much, and then he
mm.
fell off, and I was like, "Did he die?" What? Early
Yeah.
on, it was all right, and they showed some really good moves, and I really like her her rope to her axe.
Yeah, which is ludicrous, but because I don't think the physics is. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess you might have got it right on the center of center of gravity of.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's Hollywood magic right there.
Yeah,
You
you
have
have
to
had to
suspend
wait.
disbelief
Yeah,
for that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'd
Yeah.
have to practice that so much to be able to get it to spin the right. Coming
And
back. But, I
she
mean,
would have cut her hand off 50 times while she practiced.
practicing, that was the point, and she kind of nailed it right at the beginning, which is a bit like, okay, I
Yeah.
get it. She gets it right away, but it was really quite a good, fun thing to have. And obviously, if we have your version, where TJ, where you said she gets wounded or mortally wounded, you can't have the scene at the very end where she gets back to the tribe and then all the other women are looking at her. Because did you notice that we
Yeah,
were
that
only
was
seeing
cheesy
the
as well.
reactions
Yeah.
of
That was terrible.
Yeah,
the
that
poor
was
women?
yeah.
Which you'd
That
think
was
they'd
the
still
girl
show the
power
reactions
scene
of
right there.
of the men. Yeah, you'd think they'd still want to show the reactions of the men of being like, oh yeah, she's done an incredible, rather than just going, wow, here's an inspiration. It was.
Like I said, there was some cheesy girl power stuff in there, but I
Yeah.
think in 2022, that's just par for the course now. It's a given that you watch
Yeah.
a movie with, especially where it's like this, it's going to be about girl power. We
Oh,
just have to
unless
be
you work for Warner Brothers. Eh.
Cut it. I'm not going to watch it anymore. Are we sidetracking a little bit? We talk about Batgirl. I think we should.
Batgirl and Supergirl.
Supergirl was never a film. I don't think that was never announced.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Okay, you mean right.
No, so the Supergirl that I think you're talking about, she is in the Flash movie, right?
Is that right? I don't know if that's been confirmed as canon.
There is a Latina woman playing Supergirl in the Flash movie,
Right.
I'm not aware of this.
but the standalone Batgirl movie, also starring Michael Keaton, by the way, is cancelled. You don't know
Cancelled?
anything about this, Carlos?
I do know about the cancelled
Yeah.
Batgirl film. I didn't know about you saying about Supergirl or something. I didn't know anything about.
No, that's not a thing. That's so.
Ah.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
But I did hear about and after they said, because is it Zoe Kravitz? It was meant to be as well.
No, she's not in it.
No.
Who was cast?
Zoe
Who was
Kravitz
cast
is
as-
Catgirl.
Oh yeah, Catwoman.
Well, she's
Catwoman.
Catwoman. Sorry.
Yeah,
in, the
Catwoman.
Batman.
Sorry, I'm muddling up from the Batman.
No, so the titular Batgirl is played by the South American chick from In the Heights. I haven't seen it, but that's who she is.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that.
But she isn't a white woman with red hair. That's who she isn't. So she's not a classic Barbara Gordon.
I don't think anyone would mind that at all. I think the movie was probably just a bit shit.
I think what they've said is, if you read between the lines, after Warner Brothers fucked up the Justice League,
Yeah.
DC and Warner Brothers basically they gave up on doing like a Marvel Cinematic Universe type DC version. They said, you know what, let's just do anything goes. Everybody can make their own movie. It doesn't have to be tied together.
Like
There's
Black
no
Adam.
narrative that's being weaved together. Just do what you want to. We had the Joker, we had the Suicide Squad, we had the Batman, there was Shazam, now there's fucking Black Adam, and there isn't like any underlying plot which links all of them together in the same sort of world, if that makes sense. Whereas they recently restructured behind the scenes, and whoever the new CEO is, can't remember his name, he must have come down, watched it. They probably said this to him, we just made it a standalone film. And he probably said to him, mate, this is fucking dog shit. I don't care if this is fucking dog shit. What you've made is shit.
It would
We
be
can't
worse
release
to
this.
release it for our name.
Yeah,
Brand.
that's actually what he said. That's genuinely what he
not.
said. So this is bad for DC if you put this out. You're doing damage to the brand.
Wow.
So as far as I know, there's been a restructuring. So Warner Brothers Discovery, which owned DC, used to be owned by I think AT&T or something like that.
Yeah,
But they
it's
sold
changed
that off.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah, but after that first selling off, there was a chief exec, and he was very into whatever was popular at that point, and that was all diversity. So he commissioned quite a few movies which were pretty bad, to be honest. So, and I think the new chief exec is coming in
like not plot or character driven, just
just because they were
anything.
yeah, they were the current fad. So it looks like the new chief exec is kind of cleaning house.
Yeah, yeah. But the interesting thing is, they still haven't like shelved the Flash with Ezra Miller.
They're going to have to. They can't. Oh my god.
I don't think I'll tell you what they're gonna do. I reckon they're just waiting for everything with him to like completely die down, right?
Yeah.
And
Release
then
it
they'll
in, like,
give it
3
6
years.
months,
Yeah.
right? And then even then, I reckon the trailers and stuff that they'll release, the movie posters, everything will like downplay his involvement. They'll
Mhm.
change the name so it'll be called something else, and they'll just rebrand it so it's. Because what I reckon is actually they've seen it and they think it's a good film. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it must have been
yeah.
finished by now. Because it's got
mean,
Michael
if they-
Keaton and it's got Ben Affleck in there.
Yeah, but if they can release kind of Aquaman with Amber Heard, obviously that's okay because she's a very minor character.
No, but
he's
in
the
Aquaman
Flash.
2, apparently she's going to be in it, but they've cut it down to like
Second,
30 seconds or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
She's basically out of the film.
but they can't do that with the Flash, can they? Because he's
They can't do it with the Flashpoint
Titular
movie
character.
because he's a titular character and
Yeah.
he's gone absolutely batshit crazy. Pun
Mhm.
intended.
Yeah, he's going to jail. Okay. Anyway, we digressed, didn't we? Let's talk about special effects.
I will not to do it.
The
special
CGI was pretty ropey, I think. It was neither here nor
I
there.
mean, like
but
the animals were a bit.
yeah, some of them
You
were
could
like,
tell when it was a
too bad.
CGI bear or a CGI wolf. I thought.
But
Um,
the Predator itself looked really good. Like I said, the
Yeah,
Predator was really
and,
impressed with.
and the gore, the arms coming off, the things going through people. I thought was well done.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
Really
hook going through through him.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch it now, just to.
Yeah, I think this is a definite 2-watcher for sure. I think the camo effects on the Predator were excellent. They did a really good job on it. It's the first time.
Oh
I've seen
yeah. You're right. We
that
saw it a
little
lot.
hex pattern. That really good, and the way that it would kind of glow and spark that orange color when it
Yes.
was kind of interrupted by something. Did a really good job on that. Spent some time.
And
and effort.
watch the bit where he lifts up the fucking bear and blood comes all over him. He's like,
Yes,
it's
and
fucking awesome.
actually
It's like,
yes.
fuck yeah, get that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Predator, cut you in half. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
So-
the funny thing is, when they say when CGI is good because you forget, I almost hardly forgot to mention that when he's invisible, that's part of the CGI when I'm just focusing on the other stuff. Because, like you said,
Yeah,
that bit was
that is
really good.
really good. Yeah.
I'm invested in the film, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, of course, he's invisible. That's just his camera. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think.
they were.
So. What did you think of the new Predator design then?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good. It seemed.
I need
weird
to see it
the-
again properly.
Yeah, because of what we're so
Yeah.
used to, it seemed bizarre to me. Like the big, I don't know, everything was a bit bigger. It was like the mouth was bigger, the top was bigger compared to the kind of. It
I need
seemed
to-
very
I need to
compressed.
Google it and see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
very compressed. It felt to me in the kind of first, and I guess you see it in the second as well. And to be fair, someone takes it.
I
up.
don't remember seeing
Maybe
getting a very
they-
good shot of him.
You do get to see his face.
Yeah, you do.
you know,
There is a
face.
shot, and he's got like a really big forehead, and like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the mouth is just. It seems so much broader
Massive,
when you
yeah.
compared to the.
He-
what
he-
was the
he's
little-
more similar to the super predators in Predators.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't mind. I mean, I like the mask, the fact it was a bone mask,
Yes,
and I think that's inspired from a Native American myth. There's a creature or like a demon sort of character, and it's got a skull head. And I can't remember what it's called. So I think they took inspiration from that.
that would be quite nice if they did do a bit of backstory.
It
too.
looked cool as fuck. It did look. Really
Yeah, I think they did really well. Costume.
cool. I
and
still
whatever
think
you
that
call
the
it.
original Predator was the best Predator out of all of them.
Yeah.
They nailed it in the first time around. They've like tweaked it every time, and they've never got it quite as good or better. But yeah, this one was still pretty good.
Yeah, and the cool weapons had a nice arsenal. The shield and the sword and those few bits and pieces and spear, very hand-to-hand based. There's a bit of kind of bow and arrow sort of stuff, but not too much, which gave it quite a nice flavor. I thought it was really good.
Yep,
Definitely. Still get the targeting system, which is always nice because it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there we go.
Oh,
That
it's
feels like
iconic
Predator.
now, isn't it? You can't get rid of those triple lasers.
Yeah.
Everybody knows as soon as you see that, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
It's just too iconic to get rid of. With the sound it makes. Bing. Yeah, it's iconic. Can't beat it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, this kind of... you guys know I was thinking up of a screenplay for my own Predator sequel.
Yes.
I actually had another idea for a Predator prequel, which this
Is it
kind
after
of
seeing
covered.
this, or had you already?
No, I
thought
had it
about
before. I was thinking about this ages ago as like an alternative version. Would be the same premise as this, or same premise as Predator, I guess. But instead of like this, he would go to feudal Japan with fucking samurais and shit.
That would be really good.
But what they need to do, they need to sell it. They need to do the trailer, teaser trailer, and the actual trailer without giving it away. This is the mistake that they make. They keep on fucking. They can't. They're just fucking jizz all over the place. You know, they can blow their load so early. They need to shoot the trailers and everything, make it not look like a Predator movie. It needs to be a movie that looks like it's a samurai revenge flick. Yeah, you got all these badass samurais getting ready to go to war. You getting fucking people cut up. All the cool music and shit from Japan, and then you go and watch the film. It's holy fuck, there's a Predator in it. That's how I would do it if I was in charge of Fox or whatever. I say, all right, we're going to follow this up with a Predator goes to Japan.
And I think you'd be doing the right thing, but I don't think they'd buy off on it because they think you have to say there's a Predator in it to get people in.
No, it's because word of mouth. As soon as people go to see it, and word goes out. No, it would work. And what would happen is you'd hear whispers, and then somebody would I would tell you, you know what, you need to go to see this film. Trust me, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but go and watch this movie. It's exactly what would happen.
Yeah, but no one will watch it. It'll become a cult classic.
Yeah, after it's come out.
No, I don't know.
This is my point. I think the studios wouldn't let you do that, but I think I would love it if that was what they did. I'd love to not gift as much. I'd love to. You're going to payroll it.
Yeah.
El Presidente, payroll it.
Yeah, that's right.
The times we've been to films where we've not known and then been surprised by something is so much better. I've had that with a few things. We've talked. I mean, me and El Presidente talked about it a couple of times. Like you had it with Blade. You know,
I mean, yeah, it's true. None of us would have watched this film if we thought it was just a bunch of Native American hunters going on some wild adventure. We would never gone to the cinema to watch it. But if it had come out and people started whispering about it and there was talk about it, maybe somebody would say, yeah, you know what, this is a fucking Predator film. Then you're like, ooh.
Yeah, just go watch it or something.
Go and watch it. Because there's nothing in the trailers. You think this could be fucking awesome. That's how I would do it with Samurai. I think Samurai are a bit more cooler than Native Americans. You could get away with it. And the other one that's been touted a lot of people have said that what they could do now is do like in England, Knights of the Round Table kind of story. Predator goes in, kills the king, and the knights all go out to hunt it down. There's a big fat fight. Predators versus knights. That would be pretty cool.
Horses, lances, battle axes. Yeah, cool.
And then I think the trilogy to cap it off, my idea would be Predator versus dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
That would be fucking awesome. Jurassic Park meets Predator. You may as well at that point. Velociraptors, T-Rexes.
Pretend blew out to get the Predator. That's what I like. Yeah.
It'd be cool. It would be cool. It'd just be different and wacky, and you get to see all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just get all these movies and kind of mash them all together. Yeah.
That's what the Predator is as a franchise. They try and sidestep, but now what they need to do.
They do mash.
Predator 1 and 2 was the Predator goes against unsuspecting people, and they square off, and somehow the Predator loses. They need to let the Predator win. I think he needs to beat. If he beats all the British knights, I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, why do they have to lose? They don't have to lose. I'm rooting for the Predator at this point. Fuck yeah, kill him.
They should just do a world
story
or like a trench warfare thing and put a Predator in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they should do. Is just you make a film that you think you're going to go see, but instead halfway through a fucking Predator comes up and it fucking kills everybody, and then everybody comes together to kill him.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
what was that army Nazi trench one? Like with the zombies or something?
Well, that was
Snow
pretty
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We
that
have
was-
a predator in the middle of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, or like imagine a Resident Evil movie where there's zombies
And then a
there's people
predator
coming
just
around,
shows up.
and all
fucking
of a sudden
Predator.
everybody
Yeah.
thinks
There you go.
that it's game over and they're fucking predator
Zombies
turns
versus
into-
Predator. That'd be ace.
Class. This is what we need. Genre
Oh,
movies, mashups. It fucking
Yeah.
sells. You
That would be
you would
brilliant. You just
absolutely go and see
Yeah,
it.
you
I'll
could
watch it.
advertise that as a zombie film, and then
Every
actually it
dude would be like, "We are going to see this," and they'd take their
Yeah.
girls and watch them with them. We're fucking going to see this. I don't give a fuck.
King Kong versus Godzilla versus Predator. Boom.
Done. Stick him in anywhere.
Predators with a massive like fucking harpoon gun like that.
We've got
There's a
zombies,
tiny little
we've got
triangle
knights,
on like
We've got samurai.
Godzilla's
Yeah.
heel.
And the other one that was touted would be pretty cool is like a way into the future, like the human race, but with like full on futuristic Star Trek
Okay,
type
so you're
shit.
having to like predict
Phases and
what we
beaming up
have and-
Scotty and all sorts of shit versus the Predator.
What about
that
like
would-
Jedi versus Predator?
No,
That's a
crazy.
stupid show.
What's wrong with you? What a stupid ass idea is that? We're having a serious conversation here.
I apologise to all our watchers, all just us basically.
Us, yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I've never watched any of
Me
that.
myself, nah, yeah, no, not watched.
I've never watched it.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I was there. I don't need to.
That if
Yeah.
if I was in charge of Fox now, and they're not getting this sort of vibe from people that this is what they need to do, I think they're fucking idiots. And
I'm pretty sure the president of Fox is a subscriber.
I think he
Oh, yeah.
definitely
Is that
Mr.
one
Fox, Mr. Murdoch. I know it's not Mr.
Yeah.
Murdoch anymore. Fucking make it happen.
You can
You
take the
are-
take these ideas. Check payable to.
I don't. Just give me credit. Just give me fucking credit in the end
Credit at
credits.
the bottom,
Yeah, screenplay
based on an idea from
credit to
Lords of Death.
the Lords of Death.
Would be fantastic. One thing we
Did
didn't talk about.
Did you
any
just
criticism?
join to see if we were on live on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got some chat, but it's from like a dating site.
Yeah, some bot.
Have we tried ticking it?
Trying to get people
Come on.
during the. Let's just have a. See
As
if
far
I
as I know, you ain't married. Come on. do it.
69mega.com fire
Yeah.
how AI help you find perfect match.
Perfect match. You get a woman, she's interested in Star Wars toys and Lego and all that cool stuff.
I don't want a woman. I want a holographic robot that looks like
Cortana is what you want.
that chick.
Cortana.
Oh, not from Blade Runner.
What's her name? Joy Me or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joy.
Ana Darmas.
Yeah, that's how you say it as well. Yeah.
2 views.
Beautiful.
Oh dear. The Obi-Wan Kenobi got 2 views.
No one wants to hear.
One
Oh,
of those me by accident.
I'll tell you what's going on though. What's got a lot of traction recently is the Lord of the Rings Amazon thing.
Oh yeah.
People are watching everything to do with Lord of the Rings at the moment.
I was gonna say
Right.
that's not dropped yet though.
So I don't know if you guys were planning to watch it. I assume you were.
Yeah.
If you're
Were
not,
we planning
anyway,
on-
Hang on, Carlos. Do you have your own account?
Hang on, what's it on?
Prime.
Amazon.
Yeah, of course I've got Amazon Prime.
Oh,
What do you, of course.
of
he has.
course.
What a
Oh, of
stupid
course.
question.
I
What a
wasn't going
ridiculous
to
question.
steal that. I can afford my own. Fucking hell.
All right, so I think we're gonna have to review it every single week. I'm sorry. You're
Oh,
gonna have to make time in your schedule. It drops on a
episode of
Friday,
wow, we're gonna do episodic. That's the first
episode
time
by
I've heard that.
episode, either on a Saturday or a Sunday.
To be fair,
Worst
I am.
case on a Monday, but we're
Okay,
definitely
can-
gonna review week by week.
While we're discussing that, then quick.
We have to for the views and for
What-
the subscription.
Okay, but what are your thoughts already, both of you, on? You've watched the trailer? I see both trailers.
No, what we'll do is before
You want
we'll
to do this later? Okay.
we'll do
Let's not
a
talk about it
a
then.
pre-episode, like the week before. We'll watch the
Do a trailer
trailers
review.
and
Yes, trailer review.
a trailer
Time-
review discussion.
right.
Yeah.
Like a shorter one. Okay.
What do we think
I-
about?
All right. We'll give all the backstory because I can say obviously as a massive Lord of
It's
the
got
Rings fan,
it's got a lot of fucking
I'm
gravy following right now already. People are like on
Right.
the what's it called? I can't remember. There's a hype train. That's one word I'm looking for. The hype train has gone
everyone's
crazy.
jumping on
On,
the hype train. You want
Rings of
to
Power.
put the Lords of Death carriage onto the back of it. Bullet
No-
train, like we could lead
no
it.
one's,
We could be at
no
the
one's
front.
talking about the Game of Thrones. Nobody gives a shit. It's
But
all Lord of
that
the Rings.
is that sounds
It's starting pretty much the same time. Yeah.
That's on Sky,
Oh.
isn't it?
Yeah. Battle of the Fantasies.
Yeah, but nobody cares. Game of Thrones is like
Yeah,
second
I was going to
fiddle.
say Wheel of Time did the
Yeah.
same, where like Wheel of Time, just no one's really talking about
Lord
it.
of the Rings is huge, it's taken over everything. So
Mm.
yeah, we have to
People
review.
talking about it means people will watch it, even if it's shit. Okay.
Wow.
Everyone's
So-
going to watch it because of the name.
Yeah.
But,
So we need to go into the background of it because, from what I understand, the Lord of the Rings, Amazon bought the rights to some non-published background material.
Oh,
so yeah, they can't do any of the mainstream stuff. They can
Yeah.
well,
only
even
use.
Silmarillion, he can't
Correct.
I don't
reference
think they can use
the
Silmarillion.
Correct.
So what
Oh.
they've got is like an appendices,
short stories. Yeah.
Yes.
and it's like from a period which he didn't really discuss or define in any real concrete form. So
Oh, right.
they've got a little bit of carte blanche to elaborate and do what they
Mess
want.
it up.
Essentially, yeah, that's what they can
They're
do.
giving themselves just enough rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, it is the most expensive TV film ever shot.
Wow.
TV show.
Have they-
I
have
think
they
it's like 30 odd million per episode.
Maybe
Amazon.
should we save this then? Should we save this discussion? Because I've got a few questions about like how many episodes, but should we save
Alright,
this and
yeah.
do it in our trailer view?
Yeah. Let's do the trailer review.
Stay on target. Stay on target. We'll stick to Prey.
So
So-
for our 4 subscribers, we're going to be hitting Rings of Power heavy and hard.
One of those subscribers is my eldest sister, by the way, just so you know. So the way I look at it is literally, hi. It's the three of us, right, and my sister.
I'm not subscribed. I'm not. You can't subscribe to your own channel. Can you?
Who's the other person then?
I don't know.
It might be Raki. I'm not sure.
I haven't
I-
told anybody yet. I thought let's let the
let's
channel
assume
get
it's
up and going
actually
before I
someone.
give it around. But
Nah,
when,
mate,
Yeah.
if we
Very
start
early.
doing the Lord of the Rings stuff, I'll tell people. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to do it week by week. You should watch.
Oh yeah, you need to find out who
I
the
suppose if
subs
we're
are.
doing an episode, it could be worth like we do a bit more concise as well.
Alright.
Maybe just like an hour.
So it's premiering on the 2nd of September. So I think that means in 2 weeks today we need to do the trailers and discussion.
Good,
That
good.
works for me.
Like and subscribe, everyone. Like and subscribe. Remember that. Hit the reminder button. Yes. Okay.
Hit that bell. So
Hit the bell icon. Thank you very much.
it's
Because
multiple
we've got to
channels.
pay our bills.
One video every 2 weeks obviously isn't going to do anything in it. So
No.
when I've cleared my mini a little bit more, then I'll get on it.
I'll get my backdrop sorted.
Yeah,
Found
doing
the
well.
picture.
There she is. There she is.
Yeah, well, I got one, but I've got. I found them. They're on the wardrobe now. I just haven't put them up.
Can't you put like a virtual background on? Does it let
I
you do
could,
that?
but I thought
It
it
looks
looked
a bit shit, though.
shady. Yeah, it moved when I'm.
You need a green screen, really. Get a green screen.
Yeah, if you get a pulled, I'm not going to get a pulled down green screen. I'll just pop some of my pictures up. Got some pictures, some comic art.
Oh, yeah.
We've gone off
Oh.
topic. I wanted one more thing I did want to bring up on that
Oh.
because we didn't really go
Yeah,
into
go on.
criticisms. We didn't talk about. Are there any like you were
Well,
saying about
Solanke did.
flaws, problems? We
I
mentioned
did.
if yeah, you did mention it. Okay, then
I did.
Go on,
Yeah.
go on.
only one. It's kind of then therefore not that big because we have touched on it. But there's a point where he follows the blood trail, but isn't that already after he's lost the like infrared helmet thing? He's just looking at it, and I was like, isn't he supposed to be following the heat? I can't remember from the original whether when he takes it off he still has a bit of a whether he can see
I think
heat.
he only sees red from what I remember.
Ah, that was
I
it.
think
Yes,
it's
he does
red.
take it off. You're right, and it's like it's just not as it's a lot. Everything's so much brighter or something like that. So it all affected what he saw or something.
No, I think natural predator vision is red. I think
So I remember we do see it,
it might be in
It's been
Predator.
so long
2,
since I
you
watched
see
it.
that.
but it's not as of anyway. So I just thought it was a bit weird that they had him following it as if he was still wearing his infrared stuff, and I was like, he's taken that off already. So someone's written this before they realised he was going to lose that.
Is that your only criticism?
Well,
Yes,
no, we've already mentioned the stuff that you've mentioned. It was just a very,
So
very.
we had the good stuff. The
moment
Carlos's
where- Hang on,
contribution.
Hang on a sec. We haven't talked about the ending yet. So hang on a second. So here's the ending. Let me discuss it with you. She's in the middle of a fight with an apex fighter.
Yep.
And she's probably 18 years old.
Intergalactic hunter. of-
Right. So and she's
Expert.
actually not only holding her own, actually kicking his ass a little bit, which is a bit surprising. I think he's as bad at fighting girls. Maybe it's
surprised him was meant to be the point.
yeah, okay. No, yeah, but
Element of surprise.
So her plan on killing the predator was this. She stole the little targeting thing So the sequence of events had to be the Predator had to fall into the mud at exactly the
Exactly
right
the right
position
spot.
that intersected with the lasers. He
Yeah.
had to come back out the mud so that his head lined up with the
No,
lasers.
no.
And he had to fire the gun at her.
You made a slight mistake there.
Go.
Right. The dog is holding the mask, and the dog is pointing the laser at the.
Shut up! Fuck off! No!
That's
no.
what happens. The dog is holding the mask.
The dog
dog
was
not
pointing
holding
the
the
laser.
mask.
Listen to what you're saying.
No,
I'm sure the dog was holding the
The
mask.
dog
Shut
was
up.
not holding the mask.
I swear
like,
the dog was holding the
I
mask.
like that, but it's not. No, she props it up. She props it
Dog.
up
Are you sure?
because she knows that's the spot.
And had the
Yeah.
laser shooters.
I'm sure I saw the dog holding the mask.
No.
This is fucked up.
Yeah,
I
no,
definitely
it wasn't the
need to watch
dog. She'd set it. She's
The
propped it up,
dog
and
was
it shows that she's propped it in between these like rocks. There's a point where it shows her like propping it up.
No.
I'm sure the
I
dog
looks
know.
away.
I prefer TJ's version.
I do like the
Dog
DJs.
Did I
version.
imagine that?
Mask on,
Wearing
and he
it.
was the predator. It was a dog predator.
I'm sure that. Well, I can fuck you. I see then.
Like they
Because
wanted to let-
she whispers
goes,
to the
"Come
dog
by,
something.
come
She
by,
gave the dog some
come
instructions.
by."
Yeah, he whispered in Native American, "Put the laser thing on your head and fire it." Yeah, she said that. I heard it. Yeah,
I need to go back and watch it. I'm sure that's what happened.
Comanche.
It's like full on.
What's
She
Comanche's
gave the
name?
dog some instructions. He runs off, and then you see the dog holding the mask and he's pointing it at the. I'm
Yeah,
sure that's what
no,
happens.
that's what happened.
I had to go back.
I
and watch
don't
it.
remember this if that's the case. But you're right. No, I think she was actually thinking if he drowned and just died in the mud, she didn't mind. She didn't have to use it. But it was her backup plan, because her plan was to pull him into that because she nearly died in it, and she didn't think he
Yeah.
might not be able to get out. But he managed to pull himself out because Monster always has one more moment where it jumps up and
Oh,
says,
yeah,
I'm already dead.
Yeah, but
And she
then,
had a
okay,
backup
all right.
plan.
Yeah, but then he levitated out to the exact same right point.
Yeah, and she had propped it
happened to
and
fire the
predicted that. I guess, yeah.
There was a little bit.
I mean, it wasn't. To be fair, it wasn't. It was a bit convenient, but it wasn't switched on. So how would she have known the angle anyway? It was like,
Yeah, basically, if you were gonna go back and redo, you tell them to just rework the fight scene at the end. So
Yeah,
it's a
you
little
would.
bit not as convoluted as that.
Yeah.
Contrived, I think, is the right word.
I would have had the dog doing the thing because that was
You-
fucking amazing.
conveniences. That's, I mean, there was a few conveniences that I thought there was a little bit like.
Not too many though, which gave. which
Yes,
was all right.
that's exactly the point. You've mentioned the ones that I probably would have brought up. But yeah,
Yeah, I think they should
Well
have
done.
fleshed out the characters a
Whoever
little bit
made it.
more. Got
Mm.
rid of the female empowerment, persecuted Flex, and I mean she does look a lot like Aubrey Plaza. I don't know, Carlos, if you picked up on that. It was a little bit freaky. She was a bit too pretty, if you know what I mean. Kind of get why they chose her.
It's because she's pretty.
You don't think she looked like Aubrey Plaza, Carlos?
But she does look spookily like Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really creepy. Yeah. What? Like twins. It would have been better with Aubrey Plaza. She would
so I'm trying to look now.
should have been so like,
Okay, yeah, I know who you mean. Sorry, I was going to say the name was like, eh? Yes, yeah, she's in loads of stuff. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
creepy.
Yeah, so the girl that they chose didn't really look like Comanche, but I think she's like some mixed race kind of weird Flex.
Is she?
Yeah, we haven't really spoke about the people in depth, actually, the directors or the people. Her name is Amber Midthunder. I mean, that's
Yeah.
random in itself. Ethnicity of Amber. It says that she's Indigenous American and is an enrolled member of the Fort Peck Sioux tribe. She was also in Legion, which, funny
Okay.
enough, had Aubrey Plaza in.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's funny because one of the things you'll think about when you talk about her, I was thinking, yeah.
And she's 25, Carlos, so you don't feel guilty.
Really?
Just get that in there. Yeah. It doesn't say anything else on her Wikipedia.
I presume then.
I thought
that's
she
one of
was
the
good. She was
first
good.
things.
She was a little bit plain Jane. She didn't really like emote much. But I guess that's what they went for. So it's cool.
Yeah, but nowadays Hollywood movies aren't about great acting. Just look at Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean?
He does what he does very well, though.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds acts as Ryan Reynolds' movies.
Ryan Reynolds is a character actor.
Ryan Reynolds, Seth Rogen, who else? Is
Oh, yeah. Jim
these
Carrey.
boys?
Dwayne the Rock
Ah.
Johnson.
I'm going back too far.
Fucking hell. There's a
Yeah,
lot
Dwayne.
of them.
Yeah,
Dwayne.
Dwayne just acts as The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny
Statham.
Trejo is a character actor.
Statham plays himself. Yeah.
Let's be clear, even Liam Neeson plays Liam Neeson now. The same guy every single movie.
All right, recently, but I was going to say he definitely has. He's got.
Oh, in
more
the
pedigree.
past, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say,
he's played that
no.
guy, the
Yeah,
taken
he took-
guy. in
yeah,
every
right.
movie.
The last 10 years. I was going to say, but going back further, he's done quite a broad range of things.
Yeah.
You just give me an excellent idea. We need the Predator versus Daniel Day Lewis's Lincoln. That's the crossover we need. Daniel Day Lewis as President Lincoln versus the Predator. Yes.
Okay, that's
Proper
random. You
acting.
can-
Proper
Yeah.
acting
It's just
like
that you want to get them an Oscar. You want a Predator film to get an
Yeah,
Oscar.
they could have a dog. Would have been perfect. A dog with the lasers on. Oh,
Give them a laser on its head.
laser dog. Oh,
Team
my
up,
God.
double team, Lincoln and
Laser
Lincoln
dog versus Predator. So good.
Lincoln and an
Just
American
Dinosaurs
Cocker
versus
Spaniel.
Predator would be a fucking movie. You're right. Velociraptors and the T-Rex. That'd be
Oh,
fucking sick.
so good.
And then you
Some
could have
good
Lincoln versus dinosaur.
So, his laser dog. Oh, dear.
There's a new movie coming out called Man-Eater. I don't know if Slanky, if you've seen the trailer for it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's about a great white shark. It looks pretty
Oh, no, I don't know about this either.
good. You won't like it. That's why I didn't tell you to watch it. Yeah, sorry.
But it's a shark. It must have depth, surely, because it's
Oh God.
it's underwater.
Oh, dear.
All right. I think.
Right.
That's... our star rating.
Star rating, I was just saying, yeah. What? It's out of what? Hang on, we're not sure.
Yeah, you whinged at me last
5
time. Give me Out of
stars.
5. Out of 5.
5 stars. You convert it to IMDb rating if you want.
Okay, 4.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is really high, actually. I was going to say.
Yeah,
That is really high.
I'd give it 4 stars because I thoroughly enjoyed it and I'd watch it again. What more
I
can you
would,
say?
I would go probably. I mean, that now you say it, because obviously you say I probably would give it a 3.5. I probably would
Yeah.
give it 3.5.
I'm with Carlos.
What's the
It's
point
a
in doing out of
it's a
5?
3.5. It's a 3.5 star movie. The niggles that we spoke about, if they got rid of those, it would be a 4. That's basically what's stopping it from being great. The ending.
I think I'm giving it a bonus point because out of the franchise,
It's one of the better ones. It really is.
I put it
Yeah.
third in the franchise after the Predator 1.
Do you want to do a quick ranking of where you think those are?
Yeah, so there's Predator, Predator 2, Prey, Predators, then Requiem, then AVP, and then
Whoa.
it's the Predator.
Yeah,
That's
Wow,
that's
I'd
the
definitely
correct
put AVP
answer.
above Requiem. Requiem is just, to me, much worse than AVP. AVP at least was stupid, but I quite like the fun, daft, ridiculous pyramid stuff. I thought Requiem was just atrocious.
I didn't
So-
mind the Requiem. I think it was just Requiem was like a way over the top schlock, whereas AVP was like trying.
Okay, I'll give you that. It did
Yeah.
seem like Requiem wasn't trying, and that's one of the reasons I didn't like.
It was just like, yeah, fuck it,
I'll
let's
give you
just
that.
do some
Yeah, that
stupid
they were
shit.
actually trying to do something
I'm
serious.
a bit torn between putting Prey second or Predator 2 second.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I probably
Predator
put-
2 is a great movie.
I know. I'm
If
with.
you think
I'm
it
with
is,
El-
it isn't that good.
It's more
I'm with El-
entertaining
yeah, I'm
than
with-
Prey. I think so.
I'm
way
with El
more entertaining.
Presidente. I
Yeah.
say Prey is second for me because you know
Yeah.
that my. It's why we rewatch. Do you remember we rewatched Predators? Because I always said like I didn't think it was that great. And we watched it when actually this is better than I remember. I watched
Yeah.
it.
You
time
mean
where
we
I was
watched
obviously
Predator 2?
It was one of our movie nights. Yeah.
We watched
You
Predator
put
2.
2.
When I got
Yes.
it on 4K, we watched it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So we rewatched and I went, actually, this is actually good. I
Yes.
didn't remember it
That's what I
being
mean.
as good as it
Predator
was.
2 is really good.
But I don't think it's better than Prey. I think Prey's a better
Wow.
overall.
Yeah, I think Prey just about takes it.
Yeah.
But they, although they're both Predator movies, they're both completely different movies.
Very, very, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonally. Just, again, one thing we didn't really mention, and that's interesting. You know, we've said in Prey, this is about it's a coming of age film basically, and about her with this this goal, this that she was trying to aim to do, and the Predator happened to be in there at the time. The first one you could argue is sort of that whole idea of backlash of Vietnam and going into something you weren't prepared for and whether you can survive it and the effect it has on you. And then was it Predator 2? We realised was very much a what's happening at home, the internal fighting, the battles. We were talking about that very first opening scene.
Yeah, it's basically what I said. The high concept. You put a Predator in the city center.
It's a
That's the concept.
urban war going on, sort of thing. There's this disruption
warfare
and heat.
cops
It's the hottest weather, and it's melting pot. That's what you call it, isn't it? With all these things going on, and it happens to be that the Predator just
gets on a subway, kills drug lords, fucking Rastafarians. It's fucking awesome. Busey as well. What's his name? Kills him off as well. It's great.
Gary Busey, shit.
Gary Busey, just brilliant.
Yeah.
Gary
Jumps
Busey,
through that old.
Gary Busey is Gary Busey in everything he is.
Yeah.
He goes into that old woman's apartment and jumps through the window when he's cut his arm off. It's great. That's proper. And that's what you want to see with the Predator. You want to see the Predator in random situations doing crazy shit.
Is that the one where he has to jump out the window?
Yeah.
Where Glover has to. Oh, is that where he does that? Doesn't Glover some kind of fire escape exit or something?
Yeah, that's what happens. He cuts his hand off with the Predator's weapon. He's hanging on to him.
There we go.
Anyway, all right.
Excellent.
So it's a cool, but yeah, there you go. Cool. Let's sign off for now then. That's just about on time anyway. So we'll see everybody in 2 weeks' time for a discussion of the upcoming Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Excellent.
That's right.
Looking forward to it.
Like and subscribe to my sister. Like and subscribe. No one else wants.
No,
I'm gonna on this shit.
I'm gonna spread it around with the Lord of the Rings stuff. I think.
Oh yeah. How are you gonna do that?
I will tell my 5 friends.
You don't have that many friends, mate. Seriously.
I've heard of 6 Degrees of Separation. You tell one person, and then basically everyone in the world's heard because
Kevin Bacon.
every
will be,
single person is
watching
connected by
That's how the algorithm works. Once a few people start watching it, and then a few more people watch it, and
then
onwards and
it
upwards.
gets views and all that. Length of time, how often you.
So we tell everybody this is our 4th podcast, I think. So go back and rewatch our old reviews.
Oh, it'll be vintage, mate. Look at that.
Gems.
Oh,
we're not doing any gems. No gems. Rings of Power is not going to be a gem, in my opinion. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, you're starting to spoil the discussion next week.
Come on.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Talk to you later.
Speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Have
Been
a good
pleasure.
one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.